What's up guys, Anime here, and I'm bringing you guys my first ever walkthrough. Now, I did find the patch to get EXP, as you can see. I got my Pokemon to level 11 and 13. And I apologize for not showing you the event before this, but all I really did was train some random Pokemon and level up. So here I got the gym leader battle, and the concept to the gym was pretty easy. It showed you a type, and all you really had to do was counter the type, or step on a button that countered the type, sorry, and the door would open. So I go out into my pen, short for penguin, or for BJ Pen from UFC. So he goes for a bulk up, I'll just call it that, and this raises their attack, as you can see later. I go for the water gun, just do some damage on this thing, and I just continue the water gun, and he goes for a crunch, and look how much crunch does. It does 9, it does 11, not 9, but I'm just hoping not to flinch here. He goes for another crunch, and luckily I live that, and my next water gun will be able to take it out. So down goes one Pokemon, and I get 185 XP, leveling up to level 14. There are my stats. And here's going to bring out his next Pokemon, and being that I'm already weak and don't want to take any damage or waste a turn with potion, I switch out of here into my ape. Now this ape you can get to the right of the gym. To the far right hand corner there will be a lady. All you need to do is talk to her and answer yes to all her questions, and she'll give you the Pokemon ape at level 10. Now, seeing that the gym leader has a grass type, this ape really comes in handy. Not only does it perfectly counter the grass type, but it just gives you free easy XP and an easy gym badge. Sorry about that. So here he goes for Leaf Blade. I take it very well, even if the level difference is pretty huge, but I take it pretty well. He continues to Leaf Blade, and I'm gonna go for a flamethrower. It's super effective, as you guys know. And after two of these flamethrowers, it won't quite take it out. I tried to take it out with a scratch, sorry, but he uses potion just like every other gym leader. So after the potion recovery, I scratch it. Does nice amount of damage, and he goes for the bulk up, and I know this next flamethrower will kill it off. And the difference between that attack and bulk up is that bulk up raises your defense as well. Oh, and it doesn't take it out, I'm sorry. And I go for another flamethrower just in case he wants to make another potion, but he goes for the Leaf Blade, which I will survive, and I will kill this thing off with a flamethrower. But like I was saying, the difference between that attack and bulk up is it doesn't raise your defense, at least I don't think so. I get 325 whopping XP and defeat the gym leader for 1,680 Japanese currency. So here goes my first badge. Beautiful, isn't it? Look at the way it's rotating, just awesome. So I put it in my badge collector, as I'll call it, and that's 1 out of 10. So he's pretty much congratulating me, and he gives me TM83, which is the move I was referring to as bulk up earlier, which raises your attack. And I'm just gonna get out of here and go straight to the Pokemon Center to revive my Pokemon. So little do I know, as soon as I walk out the door, the professor is here to greet me, and she tells me to follow her, so I do. Now I went up here before, but it was just a waste of time, so I didn't record it. And this boy to the left of us was blocking the stairway, so I couldn't go up. But now that I got the gym badge, he just moves, which is great. So I continue talking to the professor, and she congratulates me on getting my first badge, and she gives me Ep.1, which is cut. And earlier, there's a passageway to the right of the gym, and there is a doorway blocked with a tree, obviously needing to be cut. But now that I have TM cut, I can go through the tree. And here I just search, see what this thing is, and it happens to be a PC box. It's really cool to know. I like the way it looks in this game. It looks pretty awesome. And I just get out of here and go right to the tree I was talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. But not forgetting to revive my Pokemon, that is. So being that my Pokemon are weak, I'm going to go ahead and revive them, bring them back to full health for whatever comes next. So now that my Pokemon are back to full health, I think it'd be a good idea to go back to that passageway I was talking about. So I stop here and teach one of my Pokemon Cut. I look at both their stats to determine which one I'm going to teach Cut to. And I have a pretty good feeling that my pen is going to learn some pretty awesome moves later on in the series. So I'm going to go ahead and just save its TM space. And being that Cut can't be removed, I don't want to teach it to him, so I'll just teach it to my ape. So that's what I continue to do. And I want to see which move I want to delete. And I end up deleting the status effect move. I'm pretty sure the status effect lowers their defense, but not to worry. You know, Cut's very useful and will come in handy later on in the story. So I teach a Cut, and here I want to switch and put him in the lead, just in case I meet any battlers, so he can level up. So yeah, as I said, I went through the passageway, and there was a door that needed to be cut. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this door, or a tree, sorry. And as soon as I'm getting through, the lady with the green top is back. I say ladies first. She goes in as I go in, and I hear a Pokemon up ahead, which is pretty strange. And out of my curiosity, we both decide to go over there. And it happens to be this, delicate little Pokemon, innocent as can be, and it leads us on further down the road. But two of these galactic grunts I met earlier in the story come. And this little Pokemon's left hopeless. They're asking me what I'm doing here, as she is. And they're like, get away, you brats. This is our Pokemon, And they hit the Pokemon. And this couldn't be good. And of course, we're not just going to stand here and do nothing. So the lady with the green top steps in and tells them to leave the Pokemon alone or else. And they're like, or else what? I'll challenge you to a battle. So that's what he does. He challenges me to a battle. And they go by the name of PZ. Apparently. And those are their initials. I don't know what the clan name is yet. But I'll just refer to him as PZ. So he leads off with his level 10. And I'll go to my ape. And I'm going to go ahead and go for a flamethrower. See how much it do. And flamethrower doesn't do too much to this Pokemon. So he goes for a Leer, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a Cut this time. Being that flamethrower didn't do too much. So he goes for his attack. And I've seen this attack earlier. This attack takes 3 turns to charge. But once hit, it does a lot. I mean, last time I battled this thing, it did run around 16 HP. And that Pokemon was wild, so imagine what it would do to a, imagine what a trained one would do. But yeah, I take it out before the 3 turns are up, so no worries. And I defeat that grunt. And the next one comes in. So she leads off with her Glammy outside Pokemon. Shut up. And I go off with my ape. I'm gonna go ahead and cut here. Being that Cut did a lot more than flamethrower on the last guy. She goes for the sand attack. And hopefully it doesn't affect me too much, because sand attack can be really annoying sometimes. And here she goes for an attack, but she misses. And I go for the flamethrower, being that Cut didn't do too much. And flamethrower did a lot more. So I'm guessing this one's, a little bit more defensive than special defensive, and the last one was a little bit more special defensive than defensive. So yeah, the next flamethrower will take this thing out, getting 143 XP. I'm about a third of the way there to leveling up. So they're like, oh, crash you kids, you're not gonna stop me. I'm gonna continue hitting these Pokemon all day. But what? What the heck? This creepy looking guy comes out. Wait, there's 2? Wow. What the heck? He teleported. This guy looks pretty scary already, and I don't know much about him. And quite frankly, I don't really want to know much about him. This guy looks like the real deal. So he tells him to retreat, and he retreats as well, going off into the mid. He just vanishes in midair. Apologize. But the mom of this Pokemon seems to come out, and the professor returns. She asks me what's been going on, and Pokemon, I think, are explaining to her the scenario and telling her thank you. And we continue to explain the scenario. She says, you know, great job. Wow, sorry about this. My screen went black all of a sudden. So yeah, the Pokemon was left there. I apologize, my screen went black. But my Pokeball was left. The Pokeball was left there by a Pokemon, and she gladly grabs it. After, you know, a couple minutes of not knowing what to do, I finally decided to return back to this house to talk to the professor. And yeah, I pretty much wasted a bunch of time. But eventually I went back to the professor, which was the next thing you're supposed to do. And she gives you a gear. We'll just call it gear for now. And this helps you connect to Wi-Fi and, you know, do some other cool stuff that I wasn't able to figure out yet. But I will soon. So she hands over the gear, a really cool looking contraption. As you can see, it's color coded, and it's just awesome. So yeah, she continues talking, explaining to me a little bit about the gear, and yeah, not really much to say here. As she's talking, this girl from the left of the bed comes, and she gives me a pal pad. And at least that's what it looks like. And as for you guys that didn't know, pal pad was to input friend codes and to find your own friend code. This is very useful again on when Wi-Fi battling, because friend codes are needed. So here I decided to turn my gear off. Apparently for no reason, because here I want to turn my gear back on just because. And so I do. And I'm gonna go over here, and oh, I just wander off. I'm thinking about going into the house, but never mind. It's probably useless. Now here, the old man wouldn't let me go through, but being that I have the gear and the first badge, he does let me go through. So this concludes our first walkthrough. Please stay tuned for the next one. This is Anime, and I am out.